Today, we warmly welcome you to country. We hope you understand and respect the presence that we want to bring with that in our spirit, and that we want to care for you, DJAARA in all its form, and care for Djandak, Dhelkunya, heal country and heal people.
Everybody. Just like to pay respects to everyone here today, and pay respects to our old people, our Maringa Kuli, our ancestors. And I guess their breath and their spirit resides with all of us here today. And for us, when we do our yapanya and our ceremony here, when we do any of our events, it's really important that as we come together, we do this, and it brings, I guess, the spirit of our old people. The breath of that smoke is actually the breath of our old people. And what it connects with you today, and that smell actually is, I guess, the bloodlines of the connections of this country. And forever where you've travelled from and you've come today, this smoke is a cleansing for you to welcome you here, to tell our old people that are here with us today, that are in the landscape, that they're still here and that they're still proud. They're proud of us in what we do as Aboriginal people, but also as a community, non-Aboriginal people and Aboriginal people. We've got to be proud in what we do and how we walk forward, and how we, how we walk together. For us, when we burn these plants, it's about paying respect to these plants that provide us sustenance, but they also provide us knowledge. They shelter us, they protect us, and they provide for us. The same as our parents, our grandparents and our great-great-grandparents and our ancestors before us. And hopefully today you'll learn and you'll understand the path forward for us in how we manage country and how we want to manage country together, wholly and solely as one mob, one blood.
As Dja Dja Wurrung, it is our responsibility to heal country, and I've mentioned it before, healing country, healing people. So after several hundred years of not being able to manage Djandak, being stopped, actively stopped, it's painful, it's hurtful, and as we see with climate change, it is wrong. Science and others cannot solve our immediate problems that others before us created, but we need to do something different, something ancient, something old. What benefit is there in standing in the way then of us healing Djandak through the Galk-galk Dhelkunya? There is no argument, there is no reason, and we'll see going forward as we step up and we advocate and we do this together, that others will criticise us, they will belittle us, will say that we don't know what we're doing, and perhaps in some instances will be uncomfortable, will be clumsy, but we need to stand shoulder to shoulder. What we will see is an inherent racism towards not just us as First Nations people, as us as community and in our leadership. It'll be a form of discrimination against us because we are the collective. We're the people trying to be visionary to do good.
During the development of Galk-galk Dhelkunya, our forest gardening strategy, I felt that it was difficult to properly articulate the importance that being on country and healing the landscape with our traditional knowledges and practices have for our community. Looking for guidance, I expressed this sentiment to our members that were providing input into the strategy. With their kindness and their wisdom, they expressed to me that this difficulty comes about because we are not using our own language. It was in that moment that it clicked to me that my struggle was due to Western ways of being and knowing, and as an extension, the English language itself. They're simply unable to comprehend the vast, inherent, ancestral connection that we as traditional owners have to our lands. The forest gardening strategy, then, is not only a statement of DJAARA's methods for caring for country, but also a translation piece, in a sense, to articulate the Dja Dja Wurrung way of being and knowing as handed down to us by our ancestors. While we continue to operate within Western systems of management, we extend our hand in goodwill to share how bringing our practices back to country can create benefits for our lands, for the continuation of our culture, and for the broader community that we share Dja Dja Wurrung Country with.
Really, the old people developed a more flexible, adaptable approach and a system that was in tune to the rhythms of the variable climate that we live in, and the natural productivity of the ecosystems to develop ways in which they could survive in this landscape. They didn't do the same thing everywhere. They carefully designed templates based on deep experiential knowledge, and some places were left alone, weren't really touched. The forest gardening strategy is a very well thought through strategic document. I also see it as an invitation from the Dja Dja Wurrung and from other First Nations people in southeastern Australia to join with them in rediscovering our role as people that truly belong in the Australian landscape, and need to work with them to heal knowledge, to learn through doing, and to work together to create more healthy and sustainable future landscapes where the benefits and opportunities in those landscapes are shared equitably among all people, and where the rights and responsibilities of First Nations people are to actively manage their country and are recognised and respected. They don't need our permission, they need our support. When we garden, we have our fingers in the soil, we feel connected to the landscape, we feel connected to the past. When we consume the products from the garden, we also feel connected, as Trent said, to the ancestors, to the people who were here before.
For all of us, we know where we need to get to. It's just how we get there. And I think this strategy is a really, really awesome driver. It's one that I know our board that I chair is really proud of. The decisions we make, we see that actually happen on the ground, and actually we need people to do things than just sit around and talk about it. And I think for us, we do things. So for me, I guess as the Dja Dja Wurrung, we're really proud, and I'm really proud as a chair to really unveil Galk-galk Dhelkunya. So congratulations everybody that's been involved. Thank you.
Galk-galk Dhelkunya is about understanding what the health of country is at different places, and for those places or cultural landscapes, determining what's required, what are the tools, in what order, in what season should they be applied. So that response to that holistic approach that Galk-galk Dhelkunya represents is something that really excites me to be part of bringing back something that's been missing for so long.
A key part of the strategy, while it is about managing our cultural landscapes, is about returning Dja Dja Wurrung people back to Djandak country. And so there's a number of opportunities and actions that we can take to bring Dja Dja Wurrung young people and youth and our kids back into the landscape, to share our knowledge and our practices and our customs, while also creating benefits for the landscape as well.
For a long time, there's been conflict between different land managers and different perspectives of how to conserve and heal country and the environment. And I think actually forest gardening provides a great opportunity to bring different people, different groups, different communities together and walk on country together, heal country together, and through that heal ourselves as well.
How brilliant would it be to actually have my people back at country like the ancestors that had the freedom of country, and now all Central Victorians that live here, that visit here, can understand that connection and support it, and it becomes normal. There's language, there's people, there's sustenance back at country, and that I think is a beautiful vision to have.